Yo, what up? We're gonna start in a couple minutes. Still setting some stuff up. How's everyone doing today? Good, I hope. Yo, what up? Oh, I guess my camera's not working. Cool. Classic. Oh, did it get too hot? What was that? Hmm. Okay. My bad. Sorry, I thought all my shit was working, but I guess it's not. Hmm. Interesting. Oh, that's annoying. Why my capture card is not working. Why are you not working, capture card? Alright, let's try the whole. Here we go. Wowee! Jeez. So much effort for a dumb camera. Alright, let's see. How is everyone doing? There we go. Okay. I cannot remember what I was working on last. It's been a minute since I've streamed. Apologize. Been busy with some stuff. Some other life things. But, I kind of wanted to mess around with the Ring camera a little bit more, but, honestly, the Android app analysis is kind of annoying and, I don't know, not very, fruitful. So, I might take that somewhere else, or go somewhere else with that later. But I don't know. We'll see. I get bored easily. Okie dokie. So, I did find a couple things that were kind of interesting, that I would like to share. Most notably was, taking the APK file and converting that into a jar file using a tool called, let's see if I still have that open. No. It's for my screen copy. Don't have the device pass-through. That would help if I did. Alright, USB. No device is available. Oh, okay. Still have to wake you up. Nope. Guess not. Oh, that's why. I got my dumbass Windows VM, my gaming VM running. Oh, thank you. Thank you, my back. Honestly, I was pretty self-conscious about that video because it was my first one, first real video, so to say, that I kind of put some effort into. So I'm happy that people are enjoying it and they're learning stuff from it. That's cool. Also, how's the weather in Italy? I hope it's better than it is here. Let's see. Okay, I have that VM turned off. Now my devices should show up. There they are. Where is it? I don't see it though. Oh, it's not plugged in. Doy. There we go. Now I can do LS USB. And we've got the Sony Ericsson. Now I can do screen copy. Oh, wait. ADB devices? Nothing? Tap to turn off. Oh, I like a little bit of rain. Some rain is nice. And yeah, I'm glad the temperatures are starting to drop a little bit. Glad fall is coming around. I'm been tired of this long summer. So hot out. I don't know why this thing does not want to play nice. Okay. We will remove the virtual device, plug it back in. It may just be this USB cable. I've been messing around with my wiring setup. Yeah, now I don't even see it. Is this cable bad? Maybe this cable's bad. I think maybe this cable is bad. I'm southern US. So, you know, hot as balls. Be right back really quick. I'm gonna grab another cable. Classic. Yep, classic me. Mute my mic and then never turn it back on. Alright, yeah, that cable was bad. It was a bad cable. I was saying while I was muted, my least favorite thing about Type-C cables is you can't really tell if they're data only or power, or I'm sorry, if they're power only or if they also do data. It's not really easy. I need to get like a little cable tester or something. Go through all the cables in my house. Yeah, so I went through and did a couple things with the APK file. I want to get this out of here so I don't open up there we go, open up another one. And I believe what it was, dex2jar is the tool that I used, and you basically let's see. Oh, yeah, that was it. Dex2jar. So you basically give it the path to a APK file, and it'll go and convert it into a Java file. And then I open that up in a Java decompilation tool, which is pretty cool. It's called JD GUI. And what this does is it gives me a better, more browsable view of the actual features of the Java, or I guess of the APK file. So we can look at all the classes, all the compiled class files that comprise this this APK file, and a bit more of like a easier to read, browsable setup. So this is kind of neat. And what I was trying to do is I was trying to find some imports that I could use to trace with Frida, and I kind of got some of that. I was working on this JavaScript file to enumerate some of the methods within the Java file, and it kind of worked. I basically set this up to give it a pattern where I can look for some imported classes. So what it'll do is it'll take this pattern and it'll go through and it'll use this java.enumerate loaded classes. And it'll stick those all into a constant, and then it'll loop through each of those, and it'll check to see if the class name includes the class name pattern that we specified. That we pass when we call this function. And then what it'll do is if it matches any of those classes, it'll print them out, and then it'll enumerate the methods for it. So this is kind of what I was messing with, but really what it does is it's just giving me kind of the view that I can already see within the decompiled Java. So I think what I need to do is I need to find some functionality within this Java that is interesting, and then hook that specifically and kind of look at some of the data that flows through those functions. Thank you, Matt Bogenberger. Appreciate the kind words. Yeah, I'm working on another video that has to do with these little dudes. I did a write-up. Okay. They're like little tracking tiles. I did a write-up on these that's on my blog, but I want to make a video and make some software to kind of like actually track these things so that I can use them. Because they're kind of just falling off of a shipping container or a shipping box. and they're just like little Bluetooth low energy like tracking tags. So I might mess with that later. But I wanted to put together some code to kind of follow those so that I can, watch them around my house or put them on things and track stuff with them. So I should have that video out probably within the next week or so, hopefully. So I need to find some interesting functions to hook. There's lots of interesting things under the Ring app and the Ring imports. One of the things that I was interested in initially was the setup of the device. How do we, connect to the device and do the setup? And from what I understand, the last time I set one of these up, and I believe it's still the same, is you basically put the device into pairing mode with this little button on the back. And then the device goes and it sets up a local wireless network that you connect to with your phone. And then the Ring app will do some configuration and set up to the device there. So I imagine what it's doing in that scenario is it's sending the device some connection information for your actual wireless network, and then it's also sending it some setup information to like connect to the MQTT or whatever, however Ring manages their dumb devices. And that was actually called the modular setup, I believe. I think I had it up here. Yeah, modular setup activity class. This dude right here. Core UI, modular setup. Yeah, so this I believe is the functionality for actually configuring the device. These are interesting. I didn't see these steps. BLE device connection step coordinator. So what I might do is I might try to get the Frida script that I was working on to hook into this whole modular setup activity. And then we can, I'm gonna move you to the other desktop. So if I can hook, if I can get Frida to hook the API or some of the function calls within these classes, then maybe we can see some of the contents, or at least like the logic flow of how it's calling these imports and how it's using them. So I might do that. So this is ring.modular setup. Let's try just modify this really quick. Ring.modular setup. And let me make that a little bit bigger for you guys. Okay. So, and I need to probably get the Frida script running again on the actual host. Frida. Yeah, this is another thing as I was using Frida trace, and I was tracing the method calls or API calls, whatever the heck you want to call them, that include ring and setup, and this is kind of the output of that trace, which is kind of interesting, but I didn't see anything that was like, I don't know. To be honest, I don't really know a whole lot about what this is trying to do at the moment. So I kind of need to figure out a little bit more stuff before this really makes a lot of sense. But you can see things like what activities it's calling. Let's see, activity. Enter pin code setup activity. Class name. Device wizard, type resolver setup. Device selection step activity. Yeah, this is where I was walking through the app, and maybe I can show you right now. Oops. Oh my god. All right, I'll get caffeine on. Cool. And then I'll get the Ring app open. Here, let me move it over a little bit. There we go. And I was doing set up a device. It was going through. And this is that, this right here, device selection step activity. And so I go down, select our camera. What is it? Security cameras. And then it wants to scan the QR code on the device. So I could turn on the tracing again and trace this whole process and set up the device. I actually need to solder the damn button again because it broke off. I also kind of want to try probing some of the pin pads on this and see if there's maybe UART or something, because that would be kind of fun. We could do that. Unless you guys are interested in something specific. Oh, thanks guys for the Prime subscription. Appreciate that. Yes, let's hook up the trace again, and we will trace this whole process while we do this. Let me get the battery for this device and plug it in. All right, device is on. Oop. Get our virtual environment active. All right, cool. I'll just keep going at it. Normally, I poke at something, get bored, and then I'll find something interesting and go back to it. It's kind of like a rinse and repeat with kind of pen testing these devices. Let's see. Now I bet you Frida trace works now. Okay, and I want trace out to. Let's see if it's still valid, or if I have to relaunch it. Okay, cool. Started tracing 570 functions. All right, cool. I'm ready to scan. Only this time. All right. And let's get the QR code. Oh, it helps if I don't turn the damn phone off. Hello? Where is the damn camera? Okay. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Yeah, this is on my husband's account. This is one of our old devices. Hold on. Alright, let me, I'll tell him to, push that through. It's stolen. I stole the device. No. That's interesting. I didn't know Ring would actually do that. I wonder if there's a way, that's a good question. I wonder if there's a way to bypass that. So I wonder if you could just bypass it in the app, or if you have to actually, if that's like a server-side thing. Because I wonder if the app just does like a quick check on their servers to see if the camera is owned by somebody, and if it is, it'll whine. And then you can just skip that. Who knows? Get out of here, Ring app. Okay, trace to. So is this at? This is sitting at, so I've got activity, drawer layout, drawer layout. Oh, I really didn't get a whole lot. So here's the modular setup, core UI, setup session, implementation, provide device factory. I wonder if this is it, double check. File analytics, modular setup, full release, Dagger lazy, Dagger internal double check. I don't know. Setup device definition availability verifier, that might be under here. We can check our thing for that. What is that under? Dagger device selection flow component. All right, let's copy that. Come over here. And I just want to close all these because I don't remember what half of them were. Do a search for that. And let's do method. There we go. Open that up. Okay, so this is what that just ran. So this returns camera, setup kit module, provides setup device definition availability verifier. There's the barcode processor. I guess that's I bet if we scroll back a little bit further, we can see that for where we scanned it. Barcode. No? Okay. QR code? Oh, there it is. QR. Oh, look at that. Process code type code. That's interesting. Get a URL. All right, I think I want to copy that out over into our juice because that's very interesting to me. I like finding those little URLs. So ring.com does I'm guessing a get request. And this is probably the contents of the QR code. Let's see. We can check that. Let's go into welcome Tom Runting. Let's check. Do I have Lynn's on here? I wonder if it'll pull the QR code. No? Okay. I want to grab that QR code. Let's get Google Lens going really quick. Yeah, it's got a cloud system that they connect to. Uh, I'm I'm certain that it probably does some sort of local storage, just like a temporary local storage that it then backs up that to the cloud. Or it has like a cache, like a rolling cache. Um, but yeah. Oops. Try not to break this thing. Or short it out or something. I don't know. Modern electronics are pretty sturdy. Okay. So let's get that open. And I want to see what the QR code is. Interesting. Oh, jeez. Whoa. So that directly opens up that URL. So I wonder if it's I wonder if it's opening this URL. I wonder what this goes to. Don't mind if I do. Downloading and updating the Ring app. Okay. You got me. The one thing I don't like about Google Lens is it doesn't really make it easy to see what the URL is. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. They'll do the whole thing streaming to cloud or just events, depending on how much money you want to spend. It'd be neat to have this as like a locally hosted camera. I don't know if anybody's actually ever done any of that. Um, Ring camera self-hosted. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me to. Oh, nice. He requires unofficial workarounds. Oh, so there's actually a whole MQTT server for Ring? Oh, Ring devices to MQTT bridge. Home Assistant add-on installation method. Okay, blah, blah, blah. How does this actually work, though? I guess it's just intercepting the MQTT commands or, like, standing up its own. Device configuration. This might be something to dig into. It's all JavaScript. Wow, they put a lot of work into this. Sheesh. Interesting. Okay. Supported devices and features. Camera devices, you get motion events, doorbell events. Cool. That's neat. So here's the client API that he's using. Cool. Unofficial packages. Nice. Okay. So how is this actually working? Is the device itself running an MQTT server that's processing events or what? Or this is probably just running its own MQTT server. Like, I saw that camera.get events. Camera API events response. Interesting. Okay. Make a note of this because that's very interesting too. That'll give us some insight if we need to like figure out something specific that somebody's already figured out. We could look it up, save us some effort. But I don't know what I'm doing yet. I don't really have any goals other than just dig around and see what it does and see what we can learn from it. Let's see if my let's see if we can actually bypass the like check to see replace confidential data. If we can check to see if the function that it's calling to test if it's already on somebody's account, maybe we can bypass that and then just re-add it anyway. I thought I turned off the screen or sleeping. There we go. Oh, I guess that goes away when you okay, whatever. Sheesh. Okay. Let's go ahead and hook this app again. Let's do trace 3. Actually, hold on. Cancel that. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff to hook into. Yikes. Is it actively doing stuff? No. Okay, it's still hooking into it. I don't think Frida liked that. Let's try to be a little bit more targeted, I guess, a little bit more specific. Let's do Calm Ring app. Let's see what we can get from that. Calm dot ring app. Maybe that will prevent him from exploding. Who knows? We'll see. What's up, Murphy Boo? How are you doing? Oh no, it's still exploded. Set up device definition availability. This is under Dagger device selection flow. Let's do Dagger.module. Because that one seemed related. Well, that was annoying. I guess my stream died. Rip. Alright. Okay, cool. I think we're live. Yeah, rip stream. I don't know what that was. OBS just up and killed itself. It had enough. It was just like, nope, I'm done. So, whatever. Let's see. Dagger. That's what I wanted. What is it? DI Dagger module. Oh. Unable to find a process with name ring. Oh, that killed the ring process. That's really funny. Well, sort of, I guess. I don't know. Get out of here. Okay. Open that up. Alright, so now let's trace this dagger module. See if, nope, got nothing. Tracing 0 functions. Let's just try that. See if we get any functions. Nope. Let me look at free2docs real quick, because this, I need to make sure. Just some examples of what they're tracing. Tracing Java methods. Do I need to make sure that it's tracing Java methods? I am, right? Yeah, okay, Java methods. And then the ones that we're looking for are under Dagger device selection flow component class. Oh my god, this so much stuff. It literally is like digging through a haystack looking for a needle. Or in this case, a dagger dot module. So I guess that's com.ring app, or is it com.ring app? Yeah, com.ring app. Oh, I could just do this. Copy qualified name. Dodoy. That gives me the full thing. Okay. Let's try this. Ooh, what? Oh, class.method. Oh, is that what I'm doing wrong? Okay. Thank you for the sub. Welcome. Java method, include Java, Java method. Wait. Oh, that's exclude. Okay, so capital J is exclude. That couldn't be more confusing. Only searching in user-defined classes? What is that? Ignoring case I and only searching in user-defined classes. Where's it getting the ignoring case? Are their docs wrong? No. What? Is that what this is? /ISU? Oh, with certificate in their signature. Ignoring case and only searching for user-defined classes. Okay, so I need to learn the syntax a little bit better. So let's just do this, and we will follow along. We'll make ours insensitive to case. Yeah, like regex flags. Yeah, that's exactly what they make me think of. And I don't think we care about the signature or user-defined classes at the moment. Let's try that. See if that hooks us to anything. 0 functions. What is this thing called? Dagger device selection. Maybe we just need DI. I mean, that's bound to get something. That's way too open. I'll get something out of it. Oh, yeah. The left-hand side of this equation is, it says that's the J and I functions. Oh, that's J and I. Oh, okay. The F specifically looks for the target application, but I'm using what is it, capital U identifier or something. Oops. U, capital U, US, oh, that's for USB, and then the target. So maybe if I'm more specific with my target, and I'm not just looking at all of the things running on the system, or all of the things that are running imported into the Ring app. com.ring app dot, or no, is that wrong? Let's see what that does. Instrumenting. It launched the app on my phone. So that's what it did. And then air it out again. I wonder if it, because it looks like it's launching it brand new. I wonder if I specifically hook it into the target app, it doesn't do that. Because if those functions aren't running yet, or they haven't been, I guess, initiated, I don't know. Let's try this again. No? Okay. Alright, well, let's do it anyway. Nothing? Okay. See if it grabs something now. Nothing? Okay. I'm clearly not doing something right. You want to try the S flag? Or what was that, signatures? Oh, that grabs some stuff. So I wonder what the difference is. DI Robin module, ring app, .ccm. Okay. I mean, that got us something. But it again errored out. I don't know if the erroring out is Frida's fault or if it's my fault. Cannot read property overloads of undefined at anonymous. Hmm. You don't have... Okay. I wanted some more details about the the Java search, but I guess it doesn't break that out more. Java method searching. Target, name, identifier. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Let's go find some examples. Frida trace examples. Let's go learning. Hooray! Yeah, so it spawns the application. That's their module name. Is that the I? Let's see. Tech I. Okay. Yeah, it's just all the same stuff. And that was one of the things that I had trouble finding. Is there's really not a whole lot of examples about Frida. I mean, most people seem to get by with just like a couple commands. So maybe I'm just too noob to understand like what the actual Java application is doing in order to trace the right commands. JADX can auto-generate Frida snippets. That's interesting. I've used JADX before. Maybe I can try that on, or is it this Java? Or just grab it straight from the APK. Really, JADX can do that too. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to do with Frida either. Other than maybe see if I can hook the method call that does this, or because this device is registered under my husband's account, his Ring account, because it's one of our old ones. And I just thought it would be funny if I could just bypass this as opposed to having to request him transfer it. That would be fun. Because now I've got a challenge. Before I was just kind of mindlessly running around, but now I've kind of got a challenge of kind of skip this and see if we can get the device registered under my account without prompting. But I guess it just depends on how Ring does all of it on the back end. And where was that? It was under... Oof. Oh, nice. Okay, hold on. I don't think both these applications are going to enjoy being open at the same time. I gave you enough RAM. Don't make me give you more. Yeah, that's what I'm assuming too, is Ring has server-side checks. But hey, you never know. You never know. That's why we test the stuff. They could not have server-side checks. Because it's definitely calling out. We can tell that the app is calling out to Ring servers and saying, "Hey, is this device registered to anybody already?" And then we can assume that if it comes back as a yes, the app on the client side is going to say, "No, wait, hold on. We have to get permission." But if we just skip that view in the app to say, "Hey, hold on, we have to get permission," then what's stopping it from actually adding it to your account? Is there a server-side check that says, "Hey, you got permission?" Or is it just checking anyway, and the app, and they're relying on the app to prevent you from adding it to your account? But yeah, I'd imagine there's some sort of server-side check. let's check this out. So we've got Calm. Where is it? Calm. Ring app. And then, what was it? Dagger? Dagger or something? Let's go back in here and look at our trace again. So this is where we made the request to add the device. Oh, here we go. Owner check error. Actually, I think that's specifically what we want. On owner check error activity, that'll give us a good spot to start digging around from. Yeah, right. I did have MITM proxy set up, but it interferes with the app. Some of the app is has got SSL pinning, and that was originally why I started with Frida, was to kind of like bypass the SSL pinning. But then I got distracted with Frida, and I wanted to learn more about how to use it because it seems really cool. Like the fact that you can just instrument functions and API calls on like an Android device through Frida is really cool. I mean, even just like being able to list the processes like Frida, what was it? PS, yeah, AU. Like, even just that is really cool to me because I've basically got malware on this Android device, just like kind of hanging out, and then I can talk to it over ADB. So that's pretty neat. I also wanted to look at this. There's this other app. I had a friend who said that they had this device from this company. Hold on, it's Enabot, the EBO. This thing. It's a movable pet camera robot thing that has like a laser on it. And you're supposed to be able to like drive it with your phone or something. And so they had one of these, and they said that it woke up in the middle of the night and just started walking around doing stuff on its own. And I was thinking to myself, that sounds like it's just kind of exposed. It's exposed to the internet or something. Or there's like some endpoint that doesn't have authentication. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to check that out later. That's what this is right here, the Enabot. I installed that on here. So maybe if I get bored of the Ring app, I can look at that. Yeah, let's see, device selection, let's see, Ring modular setup, shared UI, owner check error. Let's take that, go into JOTX, let's do a search for owner check error. And this might be, let's put it under method. Ring non-owner. Okay, so let's check these out. Let's see what these are. So we've got Dagger app component, non-owner check error activity subcomponent factory, create to create, inject ring non-owner check error activity. So maybe this is the one that we need to bypass. Because I'm guessing what it does is it goes through like the standard, like the application goes through like the standard flow of setting up a new device, and then it does these checks, and then if they fail, it goes and injects a new activity, which is like, I guess, Android's term for like a new view. I don't know, I could be completely wrong on that. I'm an idiot when it comes to Android apps. I tried to make an Android app a few years back and I gave up. So I believe this is what we need. We might be able to like someone in chat was saying we can make a Frida script. Let's open that one. Let's see what this gives us. Yes, Baja Blast, of course. Nothing but It's either that or green tea. Or water. Alright, Dagger Android Injector. Wonder if that's a standard library or something, or like some sort of commonly used library with an Android using Dagger. Dagger can help automate dependency injection within your app. With Dagger, you don't have to write tedious or error-prone boilerplate code. Blah, blah, blah. Login activity. Do. It's crazy how complicated, like, Android app development gets. Activity is a full screen view, but most apps use fragments nowadays, which are essentially iframes. Common DILib. Yeah, you see, you seem to know quite a bit more about Android than I do. What is a DILib? Dynamic instrumentation lib? I don't know. Just spitballing. Dependency injection. Okay. Okay, interesting. Yeah, so I think this might be what we're looking for, maybe? This ring non-owner error check activity. So maybe this activity specifically, right here, extends app compat activity. Can disable notifications, nav fragment ID. Ooh, I can make this larger. Nice. Is that easier? Is it easier to read? Cool. Alright, so non-owner error check activity. I have no idea what any of this is. It's all a bunch of nonsense. It all looks Greek to me. Maybe we can find the reference to this URL? No, because this looks like it's just got some really generic parameters. Like, how am I going to find S as a query parameter, or D as a query parameter? D is that, yeah, so SL is stick up Camelite. So D is the device. Let me take this. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Oops. Yeah, hook can transfer device to return true. Or was that one? This one can transfer device. Oh yeah, nice. It returns a boolean. Yeah, okay, so I think that's probably exactly what we need to do. That's what I was looking for. The right thing to hook. And this will give me something to mess around with. Return non-owner check payload dot get device serial number. Non-owner check payload get MAC address. Huh, okay. Yeah, hook this one, and then that'll get me something to learn Frida with. So I want to hook can transfer device. Let's see if we can find it first. So if I come back over here, see if we can just do I, right? Was it? Because those are API calls. I don't know if that's like, if that's going to be the same. I don't know if Android considers them API calls if they're like imports or something. Oh, right click and get a Frida snippet. Okay. Copy as Frida snippet. Wow. Wow. That's cooking with gas. All right, let ring non-owner error check activity equals Java use. And let's get this over into JavaScript so we can get some syntax highlighting. Okay. So this is basically setting up the function for Frida so that I can call it with Frida, right? So this sets it, sets ring non-owner check error activity as this function. And then specifically this method, or no, that's the property within it. Console.log. Yeah. So I could stick it up here. Let me, actually, I kind of want to make a new one. JavaScript, and let me, is it Java perform? I think it was that. I think that's all I needed. Then let's come down here and close this. We'll come down here and close that. Wait, which one did that just close? Yep. All right, and that closes function. Okay, cool. I want to change this to bypass. Bypass. Let's see. Device transfer. I guess let's just do bypass method. I don't know. Method name, and then we can come down here, bypass method. And then our method name is going to be, maybe I don't want all this in here yet. We'll just leave it out here for now. Let's just get our stub function going. And then our method is Java use ring app feature non-owner check ring non-owner check activity. Yeah, that's okay. I don't know the full syntax either. I think this is what I can get though. Let's just run with this. We'll pretend like we know what we're doing to start, and then we'll just fix errors as they show up. And then we can also go to, let's look at some examples on their code. Where is it? Where's their scripts? What the hell? Scripts, it's codeshare.frida. There we go. Browse code, and then let's do, you hopped on your PC. Java.use has to be in the java.perform. Use java.use to get a class, then reference the method in the one underneath it. Okay, so java.use has to be under here. Yeah, that was, I think, over here. Where was it? There we go. Instrumentation, Java, and then java.use, this one right here. Or, wait. I thought I saw it over here. Oh. Yeah, there was the example, one of them. Okay. Yeah, dynamically get a JavaScript wrapper for class name that you can instantiate objects from by calling new on it to invoke a constructor. Call dispose on an instance to clean it up explicitly. Static and non-static methods are available. You can even replace a method implementation, throw an exception from it. So I guess what you're saying, what we need to do is catch when the native application calls the function that we're hooking. This one, the ring non-owner check error activity. And instead of it getting the normal return value from that, we'll take our own implementation and then we'll return true or return false, whichever one is necessary to get it to bypass, and then return that to the native application. I believe that's how it's supposed to go. So let's see. And I think this gives an example of when the when the function gets called. OnResume got called. And this calls the original implementation. Yeah, so now I just need to figure out how to actually do that. If I knew more about Java, it would probably be a bit easier for me to do this. But I've kind of avoided it for the most part. But I think we can get by with a bunch of examples and with some help. So this goes and it sets up the activity. I think this might be different though because it's an activity. I don't know. Who cares? Let's just try something. Let's see. Let's write something and see what Frida complains about. So we will take this. This is going to be our original. Ew. Nope. Actually, let's save it as skip method.js. Yeah. So instead of returning the result, just return what is it? Can transfer device return. Yeah, I guess we'll just return true. I don't know if it's supposed if it wants true or false in order to actually skip past that. But we'll just return true. And then oh, get rid of that. And then we can just call that and we'll see what it does. All right, I think that'll get it for us. No, wait, could not parse. Line 1 expecting comma. This is the part where I fail horrendously at JavaScript. Oh, it auto reloads it. I forgot about that. Oh. Duh. Okay. All right, so that's that one. That's this one. Oh, I think I'm missing another, no? Oh, I'm so confused. Oh, I'm missing line 15. Close parentheses. Oh yeah, interesting. Okay. Where does that need to go? Okay, so that's closing that, and then that closes that. No, wait. That's closing that. That's closing that. Okay. Well, then why are you whining about it? Oh, do I need another one for the... No? Oh my god. Hmm. Because that's exactly what I copied from JADX. I didn't add anything new. Let's just go through and check our closing statements. Ugh. How embarrassing. Result is that. Okay. Turn true. And we've got the one from JADX. And we'll go ahead and close ours. Oops. Yes, close ours. And then we close our parentheses. Right? And then we've got our other function to close. The second to last curly bracket has to be before the semicolon. Second to last curly bracket has to be before the semicolon. Yeah, I'm straight lost. I don't understand why that's let's get it not in a function. That'll help us. Get it not in a function. Get all that out of here. We don't need all that. Denest it. And it's still whining about that. Okay, line 10. So this is where we got our put our parentheses. No? Bruh, I am so confused. Okay, there we go. Jesus Christ. It needs to come after the print or after the curly brackets. Do you like that one? Is that okay? Are you okay with that, Frida? Good God. All right, cool. And let's get some... Okay, so it's already console logging when it gets called. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and... Yeah, I'm sorry. That's painful for me too. Don't worry. All right, so we'll set up a device and then let's get this open so we can see when it actually, if we hit that that function. Oh my gosh, so painful. So it called it can transfer. Let's see. Let's just copy all this out so I can read it and save it. So can transfer device is called non-owner check payload, non-owner check payload device type device. That's our MAC address, serial number, analytics payload, session ID, MAC ID serial number, device category lights. Interesting. Device type null. Let's go ahead and swap that to false and try it again because it may be inverted. Expecting us to do it a different way, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Set up a device. Actually, you know what? I can just come back over to... Let me just open this link up again and it'll take me to it. Oh, never mind. Whatever. I'll just do with this stupid thing. Oh, interesting. That gave us a different one. Device is still registered to its owner. Okay, what did that do this time, though? Did that actually, I guess it did reload it, but it didn't send false that time. It sent true again. So I wonder if there's something else that's still sending true. Well, it did something different. Yeah. So maybe we need to dig a little bit further. Log the result before returning it. Oh, am I logging the result before returning it? Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. And then it returns false. Okay. Yeah, so it did take me to a different screen this time. This time it took me to the device is still set up or registered to its owner. So I think that's the server-side check. This right here. Because it did skip that, it skipped the prompt. So I think that did actually do something. It just wasn't, we just ran into the server-side check like we were expecting it to do in the first place. So like if I set this back to true, and I come back here, set up a device, blah, blah, blah. Security camera. Actually, oh, here, we'll do this. Ready to scan, blah, blah, blah. Come on. So then it prompts, do you want to transfer it to this device or do you want to become a shared user? And then if we come over here and we set this to false, and we set up the device again, oops. Ready to scan. Hello. And then it gives us this. So I think what it is that's the server-side check. If we were logging more stuff in here, we'd probably see. I wonder if you can do free to trace at the same time. Let's see. I mean, you probably can. I don't see why not. Oh. Do, 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 do. I think that should give us yeah, so maybe if we traced it while we did this, we can maybe see what it's doing after the fact. Let's go ahead and close that. We'll set up a device. We'll see if we get anything different in the trace log. Yeah, okay. And then let's go ahead and close out of that. And close out of that. And let's get our trace. Did I do that as trace out 1 or 2? Trace out 2, okay. So this is where it actually gets the request for that device from the QR code. Or I guess sends it to the web server. Let me go back up a little bit. What was it called? Non-owner Can transfer device. That's what it is. Can transfer. And transfer. Nope. Guess it's not in here. Interesting. I guess that's because we skipped it, maybe. I don't know. Let's see, how long have we been going? 45 minutes. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. Let me put you guys into the idle screen with some cool music. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and take a quick break, and I'll be back in just a couple minutes. BRB. Yo, what up? Okay. So, that didn't achieve much. Um, we got this, which is, I guess, something. But more importantly, I learned how to close my brackets. So, now we can hook functions, and it's really cool that JotX lets us just copy right click, and hook functions. So I guess the question is now, if you guys want, I can have my husband just transfer this device and we can start poking at it some more, or um, I can set up the man in the middle and we can see what traffic is getting sent back to the device maybe. Um, see if we can snoop it a little bit, or what's, I guess it'd be information getting sent back to the phone. And then the app, no, I don't know. Interesting. I guess we're already seeing that result over here. Where was that? This right here. So I guess this is the result analytics payload. Or maybe that's what it's sending out to Amazon or Ring or whatever. Non-owner check payload. So maybe we can. Maybe we have to change this payload or something. Yeah, exactly. Tracking any of the stuff in Android is kind of difficult, in my opinion. It's all over the place. There's so much back and forth from these various like code paths. I also kind of want to try hooking some probes up to it and start testing the actual like hardware itself. See if there's anything fun on here. Probably just need to get my my flipper and my multimeter out to do that. Yeah, no worries. I was thinking about setting up a Discord channel where we can all kind of work on this stuff in our spare time. If you guys are interested in that, I might set one up. We can kind of poke at some projects together or something and learn some stuff. And that way, it's not really time zone dependent. So I'll set that up and I'll put it in the descriptions for my streams and stuff, and then you guys can check it out and hang out, and we can all help each other learn and kind of poke at some of this stuff and figure some stuff out. But I appreciate the help, and you have a good night. So this is let's see, I think this is that payload that we were looking at. Where was it? Right here. The non-owner check payload. Can transfer device is called. And so this is the payload, create payload, can transfer device, get payload, string, modular setup, safe primary base, and button, blah, 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 blah. See non-owner check payload, get payload. Because maybe it's not maybe we're not hooking it late enough. See, like this one, payload shouldn't be null. Non-owner check payload. Let's do this one. Copy as free to snippet. Select methods. I think I just want this one. Let's see, this one returns the payload, so maybe I need to... what is it actually checking in the payload, though? To see if it's transferable, or if it's usable. Okie dokie, bye! Thanks for hanging out. Init with non-owner check fragment. init with still registered non-owner check fragment. Because you can, it does say that you can ask its owner to add you as a shared user. But that's probably something that occurs from their account. If they add you as a shared user or something. Interesting. Let's read a little bit more. Maybe we can figure some stuff out about it. Where is this one at? This is com.ring.app.dagger app component. Dagger app component. Really? What was it? Oh, ring.app. And then, was it Dagger app component? Okay. So I guess this is the thing that calls that, or that sticks this error activity in there. So maybe we can bypass it here, or no? When is it actually calling that? Let's see. I don't think I saw this in here. But in our first one. No? Okay. Well, maybe I can try doing some more traces. Nope. That's not what I want. And then what was it? It was com.ring.app. Zero tracing, zero functions. I don't think it's gonna actually trace anything. There we go. It does not seem to appreciate that. It keeps crashing whenever I do that. Let's just close all these. There we go. And we will launch this again. Let's do f com.ring. Oh, it's a ring app, com.ring.app. Oh. There we go. Com.ring app. Hey, Zoni. Welcome back. How are you doing? All right, let's set up the device. And we will security cameras. I'm ready to scan. And then let's scan this. There we go. And then I want to close out of that. Let's see if it got that over here in trace out too. Okay, cool. So we did get something. I don't think it got what I wanted though. Hi, how's it going, Soul Life? Thank you, thank you. Yeah. I think this is kind of a dead end because I think there's going to be server-side checks that prevent me from fudging this on the client side. It was kind of a fun route to dig down, though. I really want to look at the ports on this thing, the actual interfaces, because there's a lot of headers on here that are pretty interesting that I want to probe with a multimeter and see if there's any activity going across them. So I might do that, because that sounds fun. Let me. I might want to adjust the camera for that. Interestingly, if I need to get a different, I need to get a phone mount for one of my spare devices to use as a second camera. That way I can do both face cam and also like hardware device stuff at the same time without having to do a whole lot of like rearranging of my setup. But let me go grab some tools and I'm gonna test some stuff. So I'm gonna mute myself real quick. I'm gonna go grab my multimeter. Yeah, so if I was thinking about doing the man in the middle on that one activity to see if there was like maybe a maybe I could see the request that was coming back to my client, i.e. the phone app, and then seeing if I can maybe fudge the values or something, but who knows. Let's see, so I've got my multimeter. I'm doing well. How are you, bit wielder? The bit wielder? Have you wielded any bits lately? Any good bits? Alright, I'm gonna plug the battery in. Do you guys want me to... Let me rearrange the camera and you guys can see what I'm doing. Because it's kind of goofy, but... Oh, STM32s? Is the IDE really bad or something? I haven't programmed any STM32s before. I wanna mess with some ATtinies. Oh yeah, that thing looks like it could be a mess. I was looking at there's another project that I'm working on that uses some PICs, some PIC processors, and I ordered a tool, a PIC kit, to mess with them, but I'm assuming that it's going to be like fused, like the flash on it is fused and I can't really access it, but that's the assumption, right? Is that it's fused and that they did their thing, right? Is based on Eclipse IDE. I mean, isn't that Eclipse IDE anyway, held together by scripts and Spite? That thing has been through so many hands. Let's see. Okay, I'm just gonna probe these really quick, just to see if there's anything fun on here. Actually, here, let me rearrange the camera really quick. One moment. Aha! There we go. Now you guys can see this. It's upside down for you though. Rip. Oh well. So I've got some headers, some little DuPont headers. Got my clippy probe thingies and my flipper, which is going to be my UART adapter, if there is a UART, who knows, but let's go ahead and get this battery in here, and you should see it light up. And let's go ahead and start probing. Bet I can get you guys a better view, who knows. It's not exactly a microscope view. That is something else that I thought would be kind of neat to add onto the stream. It's like a USB microscope, so I could get this stuff under a scope and make it easier to see for you guys. But I've just got the voltage set up. I've got my multimeter configured to voltage. And I'm just going to start probing around some of these ports to see if any of them do anything. So it looks like there are, I'm just going to find a ground. Let's see if I can find a ground really quick. Let's do a continuity test. I'm going to test these right here and see which of these are grounds. And this might be tricky because there's a lot of conformal coding over this thing. I think the ones with the arrows are probably grounds. You'd hope, right? Yeah, so the ones with the arrows pointing at them, those are going to be grounds. Actually, here, let me get my light going. Get going with some drone firmware. 5 hours later, you made an LED blink and lost your last 3 brain cells. Yeah. Yep, that's my experience working with hardware too, is like you spend a lot of time trying to like get your environment set up to like even make something work. And then once you get it working, it's like the most benign basic thing, like making an LED blink. But that's the start. So once you get that set up, then you can actually start writing code, right? Let's see. Let's see if I get this in a way that doesn't blow out the. It's gonna blow it out. Whatever. Oh, that's a little bit better. All right, so it looks like the these right here that have the little triangle on them. These dudes, those are gonna be the grounds. I guess it's not a triangle. That's like a 4. It's the stick-up cam light. This one. Let's see. Stick up cam elite, outdoor cam. I don't know. It's one of these. It's one of these suckers. Yeah, one of these guys. This one doesn't do, or it doesn't have the PoE adapter. But it's effectively this model right here. So it looks like these pins over here are ground. At least should be, or not. Or is that the ground? Makes me wonder how much of this is actually conformally coded that I'm running into. Oh, that's definitely conformally coded. The grounds that I'm trying to touch. Here, let me touch this ground. This looks like a ground, some sort of shielding. Or not. Huh. Does this thing not have a ground? Where's the ground? Is this a ground? Maybe that doesn't have a ground. That seems like it's a ground. That right there. This other header doesn't seem to have anything. Doesn't seem to have any grounds on it. There's another header right here that I want to test. So let's test that one. Looks like 3 out of 4 of those are grounds. Yeah. Yeah, it's usually a Nordic semi. Somebody had a teardown on like an old model of this thing. Let's see. I fix it. Ring camera. And then they had a breakdown of the chips, but these are the old chips in here. At least I'm assuming they're old chips. Where is it? This one. I think I actually saw what the chips were in here. Yeah. Yeah, some WinBond stuff for like flash controllers and flash chips. And some Texas Instruments stuff. So that might be the same stuff that's in here, but not entirely sure. Let's see, we got some pads on the back. A couple pads on the back. But they're all through hole pads, so they're the same as the ones that were on the front, right? No, that one's actually no, yeah, okay. Cool. Yeah, I didn't see that one because it's kind of on the other side. Let's see. This flipped around. Test some of these. Alright, so it looks like that one's a ground. Let's test the voltage of some of these and see if any of them are doing anything. Alright, that's our ground. This one's got some low voltage going on. Oh, you guys can't see this, can you? There we go. So that's nothing. And then on this one, we got some low voltage fluctuating around. Less than a volt. Nothing crazy going on. This one's sitting high at 3 volts, 3.2. And this one is also sitting high at 3.2. So we've got four pins one pin is sitting low, fluctuating a little bit, and then the other 2 pins are sitting high, about 3.3 volts, which is probably operating voltage for this thing. That might actually be a UART. I'm gonna, here, let me, wow. I'm gonna take the battery out and test these. Let's see if I can get some of these connectors in here. They're not the greatest connectors, but they'll do. Kind of jank, honestly. I wonder if I get these into the through hole. That'd be kind of neat. Ah, sweet. Okay. I wonder if that. And then let me take one of these. Let me just check and see if that makes a good connection. Got one of these probes hooked up to it. Sorry, this is not a recommended camera setup. Yeah, the Cortexes are pretty common. I've seen lots of Cortexes in hardware nowadays, just because they're, I guess, pretty inexpensive and powerful. But I don't have a whole lot of experience working with them. So we'll test this and see if we get our... Okay, that makes a connection. Cool. So I can trust that with the other leads. Let's get... So that's going to be our ground, and then the second one is going to be our low. And then our third one, I don't know which one of these is going to be... Maybe that's what I should find out. I think the square one might be voltage. But it's 3 volts, so I'm not I'm not too worried about it like toasting my shit. So let's go ahead and get some leads on here. So I've got let's do, I'm gonna separate these. I'll do brown for our ground. Yeah, exactly. They're super powerful and really cheap. Yeah, and I think picks are kind of fallen off because of their support. They're like really only, I don't know, their development environment is like what we were talking about earlier, where that you spend a lot of time setting up your development environment, and you know, I think picks are kind of that way, where they don't, you have to use a particular set of software in Windows, and it has to be the right version, and you have to also use like your in-serial circuit programmer or whatever. I don't know. I could just be talking out of my ass, but is this thing not gonna plug in? What? Got some bunk ass connectors. Hello? Alright, what is wrong with this thing? Is it my DuPont connector? Yeah, I think so. Nope, okay, cool. Alright, now let's reconnect that. And then we get the last one, the red one over here. The colors don't really matter. Yeah, exactly. Wow, 13 volts. I didn't realize that. 13 volts program, that's pretty whack. I mean, I guess that makes sense because the application that I was using, or at least the hardware that I was analyzing was it's a 12 volt system. So that makes sense that that they were using PICs. So maybe that's the big sell for a PIC chip nowadays, is like you can use them in high voltage environments without having to like downstep your voltage for your microcontroller or something. It might make it easier for people who develop higher voltage setups or something. I don't know. But let's test our voltages again. I want to make sure that I'm actually reading these. Go back into voltage mode. Got our battery plugged in. And let's test this right here. So we're getting 3.2, 3.29. And this is while the device is turning on. So if this is like a UART, you'll see it fluctuate a little bit. So that's kind of interesting. This might be what we're looking for. Okay. And then let's check this orange one. See what this is. This one's 3.2. 3.24. Are these touching? Make sure my things aren't touching. No, they're good. Okay. I think I do want to hook this up to my flipper and see if we can get some UART goodness going, because that would be kind of fun. So GPIO, USB to UART bridge. And let's go ahead and plug some stuff in. This one's going to be our ground, so we're going to get that plugged in. And then our TX, I believe, is this one. And our RX is going to be this one. Maybe. We'll see when it doesn't work. And then I want to unplug it. And plug it back in. We'll see if it does anything. Should be able to see if start getting data across it or something. So there's our blue light. No idea what the baud rate is. And we may have to reverse the TX and the RX lines. Alright, we'll reverse the TX and RX lines. And this might not even be a UART port, but it takes like just still a little bit of effort to plug some wires up and test it, so. And what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the TX and the RX counters on the flipper to start doing stuff. I didn't see the light come on this time. Hello, camera. Yeah, maybe it doesn't like that. I've seen that before too, where like some of these pins, if you've got stuff plugged up, they'll that device won't boot. I don't know if that's like a security feature or what, but yeah. That's you can find the headers. A lot of times I find the headers on the board, but they're either locked out or they're not utilized. They just have like the UART interface turned off or something. But you'd be surprised. I found there's a lot of like consumer routers and networking gear, stuff from like ISPs and stuff that have UART ports just open and exposed on them. They do have security after the fact, but like the port itself is usually there and accessible. They just take the headers off. I think most manufacturers just get by taking the headers off and they feel good with that. I don't know why. I wonder if I fried it. I don't think I did. Please ring camera. Please don't die. I don't know. It seems fine. Maybe I just probably stretching this ribbon cable. Alright. I think that is probably the case. I probably stretched this ribbon cable off of the connector. Maybe. No, I guess not. I don't know. It doesn't smell like magic smoke. I don't think I fried it. Let me just take these headers off really quick. Just double check that I didn't kill something. And just have it like this. Take my battery. Is my battery still good, or do I need to juice my battery? There we go. So now it turns on. Now I get a blue light. Okay, so now that is on. Yeah, maybe it doesn't like having these pins hot or used when it boots up or something. Or maybe I was just shorting it out. Who knows? Let's try this again. Got those. And edit, exit UART. Launched up again. And who knows? Let's get the flipper plugged up. Yeah, I've seen at least the various ISP routers that I've looked at, they just have open exposed UART ports on it, but it just really depends. Yeah. My scope's over in the other room, honestly. I need to get a setup. That's what I was saying. I need to get like I have a whole bunch of old Android phones that I want to use as like cameras, so I can get a multi-camera setup where I've got my lab environment where I have my oscilloscope and my workbench and everything. All of that needs to be set up with a camera that I can just walk in there, start doing work, and just turn it on in OBS over here or something. But that's a matter of future me, problem for future me. Let's get the USB device. Let me pass that into this VM really quick. Nice, nice. It feels nice to have like a workshop or an area that you can do your stuff from. All right, where's my flipper? I don't see it. Do do do. Oh, that's what it is. I don't have the damn USB cable plugged in. All right, that explains it. Makes a lot of sense. Helps if you have the USB cable plugged in, right? Okay, there we go. Crazy. You do the thing and you don't fuck it up and it just works. All right, so USB host device. Ah, there we go. There's our virtual COM port. And then we do LSUSB. And there's our virtual COM port. No, I haven't extracted firmware yet. I'm testing for ports. Hardware UART ports. You got electronics sprawled out everywhere. Yeah, that's just kind of my life, honestly. So, Let's see. Do I have Minicom on here? I do. I love Minicom. Alright, Minicom baud rate 115200. I'm just gonna assume that's the baud rate. Device is dev TTY ACM 0. Wowee! Oh, it's spitting something out. I don't think that's right though. Let's swap these around. TX and RX. Let's see what that does. It's spitting something out. Yes, QRSTUVWXYZ. Ah, the alphabet. it knows the alphabet. I mean, it's doing something. I don't know if this is specifically UART, but it is doing something. So that's interesting. There is definitely data going across this. Yeah, it might be baud rate. Is a good point. Let's see. Where's some other common baud rates? Is it 7200 or 72,000? I don't specifically come from that era. I'm just maybe a generation after the baud rate era. Thankfully. Yeah, I usually start off with 115200. Is it 57600? I think that was the other one that I was looking for. 57600. How am I gonna make it do something? I gotta make it do something now. I guess I can restart it. There we go. Let's see if it does anything now. I mean, that definitely looks like UART. I just think I need to nail down the baud rate and the combination of these pins. I think TX and RX are right. I don't know. Let me make sure these aren't touching. Okay. Yeah, so I think I had the TX and RX pins in the right order. Let's see if it starts spitting some more stuff out. Is that your 3D printer? Are you whining to your 3D printer? Don't bother, it's a printer. They never listen. Humans were not meant to take digital things and physicalize them through means of printing. It was not meant to be. That's just the reality. Eh. Maybe it's this next pin over. It's not actually that one. Maybe it's this one. Maybe that's the one that's the right pin. Who knows? Yeah, good IPA clean. That reminds me, I need to get in there and do the same thing. I put a BL Touch on my 3D printer. I just need to calibrate it. I've been putting it off because I'm lazy, and it's just kind of a chore to get in there. Did I swap the pins back around and not realize it? Let's see. So this one is, okay, TX. There we go. But yeah, I need to get in there and finish calibrating it so I can print out some stuff that I've been working on. Okay, nothing. Give me something before, now it's not giving me shit. What's the dealio, huh? Okay, so maybe that is also not the right one. Maybe we do need to go back to that. The third pin from the right. Let's clear this out, and we will reseat our battery and see if this thing does anything. Yeah, TPU is a nightmare. What kind of printer do you have? I've got a really old, I think it's a Gen 1 Creality Ender 3 that has been modded to hell and back. It's probably like a $400, $500 printer at this point. Nothing. Okay. It was giving me something, and now it's not giving me anything. I wonder what the deal is. Oh, I got a T. Was it... Did it do that because of motion? Because I picked it up and moved it? Or what? A Neptune 4 Plus and a Centauri Carbon. I've never heard of those. Like I said, my Creality, or my Ender 3s... Oh, it's an Elegoo. Okay. I've heard of them. I've heard of Elegoo. I've modded the hell out of my Ender 3, so I have been out of the 3D printer market for years. That thing looks pretty cool, though. Oh, and it runs Clipper. Nice. Yeah, that's what I put on the Ender not too long ago. And a Centauri Carbon? What is that? Is that like a Delta printer or something? Let's see. Oh, nice. Okay. So that's where it lifts the bed up. Interesting. Instead of the print head. Neato. Okay, cool. Nice. Yeah, those look like fun. And I like the enclosure. The print enclosure on that second one, the Centauri Carbon. Because then you do some like heated enclosure kind of prints with like ABS or something. Okay, well this thing does not want to do anything other than give me a T, which is not really exciting. So maybe I can test some of these other ports. Let's check these. Let's test some of these other ports. I want to get these. Let's get this over here. And I'm going to plug in these connectors onto some different ports. We'll test something else. This one's interesting. It's got a silk screen on it, or right next to it. This says Wi-Fi console, JP3. And that sounds particularly juicy. There are no connectors on there though, which make this one kind of tricky. I don't know if you guys can see this one or not. If I can find it in the camera. Holy crap. This one right here. Yeah, that one's got silkscreen on it that says Wi-Fi console. But I can't exactly get it with these little clippy doodads. So I may need to solder a header onto that. And that's like that really fine header. That's not standard through hole. I could probably get some leads on it really quick if you guys wanted to wait, or like, let's see, how long have I been going? Because I'm getting kind of hungry. Yeah, I bet the root SSH password is hard coded. They usually are, to be honest. There is a router, and I think it'd be kind of fun to do a video on that one. One of the routers that my ISP sent me. I ended up hooking up to the UART console on that. I think I have a write-up on my blog. Let's see, shadylink.lol. Yeah, this one. This dude. So this router, you can see they've got like a debug header on the actual like FCC documentation. They've got a debug header. So I took it apart and I put a debug header on there myself and hooked it up to UART, and then ended up getting the password for it through like a debug, because it runs OpenWRT, and OpenWRT has like a debug menu where you can press enter to enter like a failsafe mode, and so you can use that to get into like the like pre-boot console and poke around the file system, and doing that led me to the password that was hard coded. So it's a pretty common thing where manufacturers just like leave the UART port there, and then it's just a matter of getting console access. This one doesn't want to do shit though. So, but I think I might call it here. I want to probe around on these ports and solder some headers onto them so that I can mess around with them. And then there's also some conformal coding that I need to scratch off. That's all just kind of stuff that's kind of boring for stream, I think. But I think I'll call it quits here. And that I think about wraps it up. I'll probably pick this up Thursday and dig into it a little bit more and see what else we can find out about it. And maybe I'll have it transferred over to my account. I'll get my husband to go through and click the buttons on his side, and we can mess around with setting up the device more. But yeah. Yeah, you should take apart your Comcast router. Take apart your Comcast router and look at it. It's always a lot of fun. All the ISP routers that I've taken apart are kind of junk security-wise. So, but yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for hanging out, and I will see you guys next time.